iPad Pro. And I have to assume that there's significantly less physical battery in the thing because it's so much thinner. So that just basically means Apple's going, hey, we think that that was enough battery life in the last gen, so we're just gonna match that, and that means we can go way thinner with less battery because the new chip is more efficient. So then the new display. This is another thing that is actually kind of enabled also by the M4 chip. Sometimes it seems like they're just saying that, but this is also true. So these are OLED iPads now. Both sizes, it's the exact same set of features across both iPads, which kind of makes the $300 price difference between them a little bit tougher. But yeah, OLEDs on both the new iPad Pros. And OLED is awesome, right? We already knew this. We've had OLED phones forever. The pitch black blacks, the individually lit pixels, the super awesome vibrance, like all of the OLED stuff is great, and we were excited to finally see it in a relatively gigantic display that is an iPad. But making a huge OLED that's also incredibly bright was a challenge that required just a little bit of extra engineering, a little extra ingenuity. So they put together something that they're calling a tandem OLED display, which honestly, to me, I think this is maybe the most interesting part of the whole tablet event today. So you can basically think of it as two different OLED displays stacked on top of each other. And then the new display driver on M4 can address both layers simultaneously. So that's what's allowing them to get really high local brightness. And that's the spec now. That's 1,000 nits of peak full screen brightness and 1,600 nits of peak HDR brightness on an OLED on an iPad sized screen. And in person, it looks, well, it looks like a really bright OLED. It looks super colorful, really bright, inky blacks. You know, in this hands-on area that I got to spend like 30 minutes in, it's not gonna look its best and there's crazy lighting everywhere, but I will be getting my hands on it to review, and I intend to dive in and find out if there are any downsides, but it looks pretty great here. And then also, weirdly, they announced a nano texture matte version of the iPad Pro. So you know how there's a matte Pro Display XDR? I would be very careful about ordering this particular option based on what I've seen. Like, I can see here that it is definitely better at dealing with reflections than a normal display.